In the last video, I told you that being nice is ruining your life. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is that you're a coward. And the fear of rejection is why. You out here trying to do everything possible to literally make your life a living hell. You're living in a bubble out here. Do you not see that? You're like, it's okay if I'm afraid of this, I just won't do it. Because you're afraid of being rejected. Going on vacations is not a luxury thing. It's not a privilege. It's a bare minimum ask. It's a bare minimum thing. Just because someone's like, saying that no, you have to endure this, da 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 da. You're gonna go ahead and do that, even though you don't feel good, even though you're literally so exhausted mentally and physically. But you don't want to get out of this place because you are so familiar with it. And if you do get out, it's going to take efforts. More than that, there's a fear of rejection hiding in there. In the whole bubble that you created, there's a fear of rejection hiding in there. But you don't want to face it because if you do, what if you get rejected? And I could sit here and say, no, go out there, you can do it. But that's not what's going to work here. You need to first understand that redirection is what's rejection. That realignment and redirection, this is all what you're gonna get when you get rejected. If you don't get rejected, you're never gonna evolve. If you want to evolve as a human being, you need to get rejected. You need to be said no to. If you're never said no in your life, if you don't have anybody who said no to you, you will keep on being the same version. You will keep being stagnant like here. But you want to evolve. So what are you going to do about that? If you want a different life, you actually have to make the efforts. If you keep on being in one place, you're never going to grow as a person. And the reason why you don't grow in your life, and the reason why you keep on scrolling on Instagram and you keep on seeing people's stories and you're like, oh my gosh, I want that. But then you don't even, they are going out of their houses. They don't care. They don't care. If they get rejected, they don't care. That's why they're getting the things that they want. But you're going to sit there and cry and be like, oh, why don't I have that? Because you're just the same. What are you doing to get that? What efforts are you making? What changes are you making in your lifestyle? In your routine? What are you doing? If you want something, you have to make the efforts for that accordingly. You think of rejection as this one big mess, you know? But rejection is literally redirection. It's realignment. You want something in your life, you're gonna get it once you get rejected. You want that dream job. But you're gonna just sit there and be this version of you, old version of you. There's this leadership role sitting on here. You're here. And you're on your bed. Like in the old job, going to the old job, you come home after doing more than 8 hours, by the way. More than 8 to 9 hours. You come back home and you're like, okay, let me just, go on my phone, just scroll. You see this like a job opportunity and you're like, wait, this is like my dream job. This is everything that I ever wanted. But you can't go there because in the roles and responsibilities, it's like somebody, it's kind of a job that requires you to actually step out of your bubble. But it's your dream job. It's the dream pay. You actually get so much benefits in it, healthcare, so much more. But you're like, oh, let me just sit here and be the same old me that I've always been. Because this is easy, this is easy. I've already got the job, even though I have to work like so much, even though they call me on my holidays, even though I don't get the days, for vacation, even though I don't get healthcare, I just want to stay here, being the same version of me that I've always been. Because if I go to this job, oh, it's going to require me to come out of my comfort zone. It's gonna literally get me to think about what if I get rejected? You think that if you keep on trying again and again, you're gonna fail again and again. You really think that there wouldn't be a 13th time where things just might go your way? When you wouldn't have to be in the same situation again? Why are you so afraid of trying again and again? Do you really think the brand that you follow and want to buy from, that's your dream brand, dream luxury brand that you want to buy from, continuously keep on doing that, hadn't faced the same issues? Do you really think that they were out here making big time on the first day itself? No, no. There was something small at first, got rejected. Another thing came along, got rejected. Another, got rejected. That's how a person grows, by being rejected. You don't get something in life by just making all this whole thing, the whole big shit that the whole internet has made it to be an overnight success thing. Darling, you're afraid of starting something because you're like, I'm gonna get an overnight success. You're not gonna get an overnight success. That's fake. It happens to very few. And it's so exaggerated. It's like everyone's just like, I'm just gonna start something and it's just gonna, blow, go viral and everything. That's not how life works. Everyone out here is just lying to you. When somebody sits back and watch you try again and again and they're like, oh, I'm so disappointed in you, remove that person from your life, cut it off. Don't need that energy out here. We don't need that. You need to realize that in order for you to get this, you have to be so thick in your mindset that I am gonna get it. That I don't care. I don't care if I'm getting rejected. I'm gonna improve and come back at it again. Your backup plan should have another backup plan, which should have another backup plan, which will require you to actually get out of your bed and actually do something about it. Your backup plan after the backup plan should be the same old thing. Keep going again and again. You think it took somebody just an overnight success to get to the place that they are? If somebody has gotten blown up like on the internet just at the first try, it fades away so quickly. If you want something permanent in your life, you have to build a foundation first. You will never build a foundation first if you don't heal yourself. You out here crying in your bedroom, how's that helping you? I'm not saying don't cry, but if you keep doing that again and again, you keep crying about your life, but you don't change it, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're just keeping on repeating the same thing, but you're not taking a solution out of that. Where's your solution? Where's the solution to your problems? It's there, but you don't want to look at it. You don't want to do something about it, because if you did, it would literally require you to come out of your bubble and actually go face that environment. But you're still gonna be in the toxic environment, and you're not really like sad about that much. Because if you are, then how the heck are you just staying in the same position that you are? Tell me something. When you are looking at the mirror, are you happy? Are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Do you really like the face that you see? When the voice is saying in your head that, oh, I saw that video, recently. Do you see how good the life was of that person? I want that. But then you looking right back at you and you think to yourself that, oh no, but I'm just too afraid. I can't do that, because I'm just too afraid. If I do that, then like, oh, it's going to take me to come out of my bubble. I'll get rejected. I'm just so afraid. See how ridiculous that sounds? You just want to sit there. You think that the consequences of your actions are not huge. But when you're old and you haven't lived the life that you wanted, guess who's going to regret that? It's you, not your neighbor, not the family that's restricting you from getting that life. Nobody but you. You're going to be the one responsible for your own life. And you're gonna be the one who's gonna face that consequence, you alone. No matter who you are with, no matter who is there in your life, it doesn't matter because you will. You don't realize it though. You don't realize how awful your life can get by this one decision that you're making, by not changing. Sweetie, if you want something, you actually have to change. And people can just sit here and tell you, just like me, I can sit here and tell you that you have to change. But if you don't feel in your heart and you're not disgusted, let me tell you one thing. You have to be so disgusted with where you are living, with when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see this version of you, you have to be so disgusted. So disgusted that you actually go ahead and change that. Because if you're not disgusted, you're going to keep on coming back to that. And I'm not saying don't make the efforts for it, but I'm just saying that keep on making the efforts. And if you keep on failing, take that as a motivation. Take that as a lesson that this another time I learned from this. I'm going to come back again. I'm going to be all improved. I have learned my lessons because anytime you do get rejected, there's a lesson that you learned. Maybe you went on this interview or something. Maybe you applied for this or you made a video and you just started. Let's say, for example, you just started a YouTube channel and your first YouTube channel it failed. And then you just go on another second channel and you're creating videos. But you have the knowledge of what you learned from the first channel that you created when it got failed. What was it? That is something that you learn, isn't it? But would you have gotten that if you would have just stayed right where you are? No. In order for you to get what you want to be, you actually have to be okay with getting rejected, because rejection doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It literally means redirection. It means realignment. And not just that, it's a lesson. It's always a lesson. You always come back improving more and more, and you always get to live the way that you never thought you could possibly live. The things that you're asking, it's so small. You have to dream big. You have to actually dream big. And you think you are being greedy, but you're not being greedy. You're just afraid because you think if I ask for this, this is too much. This is your environment. This is what your environment has taught you. To be thinking that if you ask for too much, this is being greedy. And sometimes it's like, you want that, but you don't make the efforts for that. And when you don't make the efforts for that, somebody's always gonna look at you and be like, "Yeah, but you say you want this, but you don't do anything for that. Do you really want it?" Ask yourself that. Do you really want this, or are you just saying that to yourself? Because half of the times the things that you want are not because you want it, but because somebody else told you that you should have it. That's a whole other topic. But if you want something, that you should be ready, then you should be ready with getting rejected. Because if you don't get rejected, you will never get the thing that you want. That thing that you want requires a hell lot of mindset out of you. That stagnant mindset, that low vibrational mindset is not going to get you there, because that is not it's out of your league, honey. It's literally out of your league. This thing, it's like, you're dating somebody who's so rich, fancy, classy, all that, but you don't even have the mindset to handle that version. Obviously you're going to get rejected. More than that, obviously you're going to like come out of it like ruined, because it was not in your league in the first place. This is why so many times, if a woman just out here, with a luxury mindset, cannot be with a poor man, cannot be with that person, because that person will never be able to handle that. In fact, it will drain the energy and life out of her. That's why the thing that you want actually requires you that mindset, because it knows you can never afford that with that low vibrational mindset. If you keep on going at it, doesn't matter how much times you go at it, if you don't make your mindset that properly. As I said before, baby, you gotta make the foundation. You gotta make the foundation first. Foundation is so important. The minute that you think to yourself that I'm just gonna get overnight success and I'm gonna blow up, go viral, blah blah blah, baby, that's not gonna work. Build a foundation. Literally, there's nothing that can come and break it. Nothing that can come and break that thing, because you took your time, you healed yourself, you made your mindset, and you're not gonna change. You're only gonna evolve from here. When you have that mindset, baby, there is no stopping you. There is no stopping you. And if you do fail, you know that it's not the overnight success that matters to you. You will go at it again, you will do it again, and you're gonna get it again. Because if the whole world takes something out of you, if whole world just unites and be like, I'm gonna take this from you, you know it doesn't end that way. Because darling, it's not over until I say that it is. You have to tell yourself that. You have to tell yourself, baby, it's not over. It's not over until I win, until I get that happy ending. You can't do this to yourself. You deserve so much more. The whole point of you sitting out here and watching this video, doesn't that mean that you care? That you care even a teeny bit that you do, but you care. And don't you think that version of you deserves a life that you want, that you desire, that you keep on telling yourself when you go to sleep? As I said, you are too afraid to show up. You are just too damn afraid to show up. And darling, I get it. I truly just trust me. There is no one who will ever get it the way I will. I have cried again and again. I I swear to God, when I tell you that I had projects, deadlines there, sitting, and I made it. I made the thing. And moment I was like, no, but this is not perfect. Let me try again. Made it again. No, it's not up to the mark. It's not good. It's not perfect. I was like, let's delete that. Let's just, just rip that thing off. But you know what? That was the dumbest decisions I used to make. Those were so dumb, so dumb. And I sat with my therapist and she was like, "What, why are you doing that? You just need to just, go and just show it." You think, you know why? Because she said that I think that it's not perfect. But it's literally the best work ever seen, ever made by somebody. And that somebody is going to look at it and be like, this is the best work I've seen so far. It might not look perfect to you, but it's the best work ever made. And let me tell you, when I started adapting to that, I was like, you know what? I don't even have to believe her when she says it. Because I just truly believe that, I have to be perfect because this is not perfect. I can see these flaws, blah, blah, blah. But then I would take my work and I was like, okay, let me just try it. I took my work and I was like, this is what I done. And they could not see the flaws that I was seeing. And I was like, do you not see anything wrong with this? And they were like, no, this is literally perfect. In their version, it was perfect. In my version, it was just the most awful thing I've ever done. You understand that the whole thing, do you see how the whole thing was orchestrated with your lies that you told yourself? And I don't blame you. You didn't just go, come on this earth and you were like, I'm just gonna tell myself these lies. No, you did not do that. Somebody came up to you and was like, this is not perfect. Some other perfectionist was like, this is not perfect. But let me tell you, darling, when I'm out here creating art and I see a mistake done, I think of it like, you know what? I could just turn that into your beauty. Ever since then, I literally never looked at art and just went, this is a mistake. No, it was a coincidence. You are human. You are human, my love. You don't have to be perfect. If you were perfect, you would be no one's cup of tea because you are so focused on being perfect. But people love you for your imperfections. When I look at someone, I see an art, literally. And that's how people see each other. The flaws that you see in yourself, people don't even notice you, but you go ahead and say that these are your flaws, and now people notice it. Ever since I stopped saying about the insecurities of myself, people stop noticing it. They wouldn't even know that that's an insecurity. And let me tell you one thing. When you feel insecure, by the way, and you go ahead and tell people that, people then take that and use it against you. Perfection comes from insecurity. Insecurity comes from the fear of rejection that you got when you did something and they were like, no. But you took it as an experience to define your whole life. You didn't take it as just an experience, you took it as the experience to shape your life. Someone came out here and rejected you. said, no, I don't want to date you, and you took that upon you, being like, oh, I'm never gonna find love. I'm never gonna, like, make it in this world. I'm just gonna be alone my whole life because I'm just not attractive. That is so silly and ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Okay? Showing up, no matter how you are, let's say, just got out of bed, you have some, like, some place to be, and you're not dressed and all that, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, let me just brush up, let me just put on a cloth, and just go without makeup on, blah, blah, blah. Would that be the death of you? Would that shape the way you are? Would that shape your personality? Would that shape your future? No, it would not. It's just an experience. Understand that future is what you decide for yourself. And that is exactly why you being afraid to show up makes you stagnant, which makes you not get the dream that you want. The dream that you desire, it's out here for you to grab on. But you can't because you're just so afraid to do the first step, which is show up. It doesn't require, the whole point of showing up is that you don't have to be perfect because perfect is so man made. It's so man made. It's so rubbish. I have so much gratitude in my heart towards my therapist. She literally was like, you don't have to be perfect. Just take your shit and just give. Just be like, take it, take it, take it. Take it. I don't care. Take it. It's not perfect, but take it. That's for you to decide. That's for you to decide if it's perfect or not. But I did my job. I did my job. I don't have to be perfect. It's okay. I used to get so much headaches. So much headaches. I'm not even kidding when I tell you. I used to get acne on my face. I never used to get acne. In fact, I've always been the kind who doesn't get acne on their face ever. I don't get pimples or whatever. But whenever I would like have something due and I had took the time and made something, and I would be like, okay, let me just, like, last moment day I wake up, I'm just like, oh, but it's not perfect, it's not perfect. In few minutes, like, I would just get acne. My body saying I'm not okay. Girl, you need to shut the heck up. But I would take stress again and again. And yes, you'll go bald as well. You literally will face hair thinning and so much other stuff. Do you want that? Do you want to be bald in your 30s? Because if you do, go ahead. Go ahead. Chase perfection. Let's see where it leads you. Darling, your insecurities are there because society put you there. And you reach a certain age in your life and you're just like, you know what? F that. I'm going to get out of this. Because at one point, you really have to go, this is my responsibility. Your life is always your responsibility. You people please, and you think you're being a good person. Darling, you're being a nice person. There's one thing being a good person, but there's another thing being a nice person. A nice person requires you to people please. You know the thing that you feel whenever you, like, want to say no, but then you end up saying yes? That's being nice, and that's people pleasing. You do that, and I get it. Okay, I used to be in the same place that you are. I used to do the same thing because I was afraid of rejection. I thought in my head that if I say no to this, or if I don't people please out here, they're gonna think of me as a villain. I was so not okay with being a villain in their story, so I was out here doing everything and anything. I was literally bending over backwards for them when they weren't even willing to do anything for me. When I wanted them, they didn't want to be there. They just went poof. I don't know where they went, but they did. They went somewhere, but that somewhere wasn't me. They were never there. And that's what's happening to you. Nobody's out here defending you. Nobody's out here being with you. When you want somebody to help you, there's nobody out here to help you. You are out here being everybody's therapist, but there's nobody being your therapist. First of all, let me get one thing straight. You should not even be out here being anybody's therapist or expect somebody to be your therapist. They're your friend, they're your acquaintance. A therapist is literally somebody that you pay money to help you. So if you want to be therapist, go ahead, earn some money, honey. But don't do it for free. I tell you, I mean, if you want to be everybody's therapist, I'm going to literally be out here and say, go ahead, do that. But can you even be one if you can't even help yourself? I used to sit in libraries and I used to watch a lot of videos, okay? A lot of hit videos. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna heal myself. I'm gonna heal myself so I can be the living proof of somebody out here who wants to change their life. Maybe there's somebody who is going through the same thing that I am and wants help, but they can't be helped because they don't have somebody to look up to. And I told myself, if I can be that person, then that's all for me that I want. That's all. So I just sat and actually I stopped people pleasing. For me, it was like hell. It was, you know what? I am not gonna lie to you. I cut off so many people in my life. It's so funny to me because I was left with no one. I was alone and I realized, damn, I was people pleasing so much. I was not just people pleasing. I was literally with the wrong crowd. Here and there, everywhere. In college, in school time friends, in college friends, university friends, everyone in my life, wrong. Wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually sitting and laughing at how many people I lost. I was crying, yes, but I was like, damn, that's a heck lot. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I still sit and I laugh at it because it's just so much, right? But it just got me thinking that damn, this life that I've been living is such a lie. You can either sit here and tell yourself that you'll be okay, but the truth is you will never be okay. The fear of rejection is making you people please. And that people pleasing comes from insecurities. Not just that, it comes from the fact that you don't want to be disliked. You don't want to have the courage to be disliked. You don't want to put in the efforts because if you do, there's going to be people out here making you the villain of their story. But would you rather be the good guy of the story, which is, by the way, let me break it to you, baby. They're not even making you anything. They're not making you a hero of the story. They're just saying it so you keep on doing the same thing that you're doing. They want to benefit off you. That's why they want you people pleasing. What do they get when you don't people please? Nothing. All you get is everything. Everything. They get nothing. Do you know how many times there have been people, the people that you talk about, the people that you follow, do you think they got it by copying someone? No. They got it by being authentic to themselves. The artists that you follow, do you think they could have made that music that they did? Do you think the pop stars that you follow and you love so much, do you think they would have made it if they weren't authentic to their core? They are authentic, that's why they are there. You want that life, but you gotta be authentic for that. If you don't even put in the work for being authentic, how are you gonna get that? Tell me, seriously. You can sit here and copy somebody, but you will never feel good about it in your core. And that will displease you. That will show. And you think people don't notice, but people notice everything. Everything. People who notice just notice. They will see you're not happy. They will see it's not. I was actually watching this video of this one creator. I really adore her style and everything. She posts styling contents and all. And she said in one of her video that back when she started, she was posting all these styling content, which was not authentic to her. And people notice that. This is what I'm telling you. People notice that. People notice when it's not for you. Energy is the most important thing in life. If somebody has an energy, which everyone does, but if somebody has an energy that is radiating that this is not what I'm going on here, like whatever this here is, it's not for me, this I'm not okay with this, it's gonna show. No matter how much I can put a smile on my face, it's still gonna show. So what's the point? Seriously, at the end of the day, do you really see a point? Do you see a point in just like, killing your authenticity and copying somebody? You copy because you want to be liked, because they already have people liking them. See why you must want to do that, okay? It's quite understandable. They already have people who like them. You already see full well that this personality is liked. So you try to copy. But how about we try to take inspiration? See how drastic just one fear of rejection could lead to? Half of the stuff in your life that you're doing is because you are afraid of getting rejected again. And while I'm gonna say to you that while it's understandable, it's also your responsibility to change it, right? Because you can be so afraid, and I get it. You think I'm not afraid? You think anybody who you follow isn't afraid? Everybody has a fear of rejection. Everybody has done it. But they also know the cost of being afraid and sitting back is far more larger than facing your fears. When you face your fears, I tell you, nobody can literally stop you. Nobody can ruin you. Nobody can take advantage of you. Nobody can trick you. Nobody can manipulate you. Once you've dealt with your fears, once you've sat with yourself and done the inner work, nobody, and I mean it, nobody can shake your core. Nobody can shake your foundation. And when you do deal with something, you will always come back stronger. Always remember that. When I talk about manifesting, I will always tell you to embody that version. Embody that version that can have it. Because right now, you're not even giving yourself the permission to have it in the first place. Let's be honest there. You can take out your journal and write like 100 times the things that you want. But if you don't, I'm not going to say don't put in the work. I'm saying if you don't embody, if you don't embody that, you will never have that. Never. And if you do, you will drain it. Just like that. Because your version cannot even withhold that. It's just too happy that it got it. And doesn't know what to do with it. It doesn't know how to work with it. It doesn't know how to react, how to be in that state. Let's say you want to be a writer. What does that writer do? What inspires them? And I'm not talking about routine, I'm talking about emotional state. What is their emotional state like? Is it messy? What is their art like? Simple. But nobody puts their mind into it. People will tell you you gotta think about the money, amount of money that you will make. You gotta make vision boards, da 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 da. That's all secondary, sweetie. Primary thing is embodiment. You actually need to pretend. You know that statement, act confident unless and until you become it, fake it till you make it thing? That's sweetie. But I'm gonna tell you, go ahead and visualize that version. From next morning onward, do it. Act like it. The person that you want to be, act like it. You want to be calm and collected in life. Let's just take something as simple as you want to be calm and collected. Okay, when an argument emerges, what does that version does? What what does it say? Or does it say something or not? Let's say somebody came up to you and was like, "Oh, you're not that pretty." What do you do? For me, in my version, I don't say anything. I'm like, "Okay, okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's your opinion. It's okay." I'm not gonna sit here and tell them, explain them that it's subjective, da 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 da. No, okay. End of conversation. That's it. Somebody comes up to me and are like, "You watch just too much. I don't like you." I'm like, "Okay," and I leave. I don't want any drama with you. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't even care what you think about me. I just don't care. And one might hate me for that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to bed happy, in peace. Okay, there are two roads. Okay, let's see. For example, two roads. One is familiar. I've always been familiar with this. I know how this is going to go. If I do this, that will happen, that will happen, that will happen. You know, you know exactly what's gonna happen next. This road, there's fog everywhere. Everywhere. You can't even see what's next. So you just have to blindly trust and walk on it, which requires you to take a risk. You might just lose everything, or you just won't. But guess what? Here's the trick. If you tell your mind you're not gonna lose, you will never lose. Because that's how beautiful the mind is. It loves to stay in the survival mode. And guess what it'll do? It'll try to create fears. You are afraid of going on stage. Why? Because you've never been on one. You might do it two times, three times, four times, five times. But the sixth time, you won't be afraid anymore. You just look at the stage and be like, "Oh, I've done this before. It's okay." But the stage will get larger and larger and larger. But then guess what? You'll get used to it. Just like you got used to this situation right now. You'll get always used to anything that life throws your way. Okay? Don't be afraid of not being everyone's cup of tea. Because you still are not everyone's cup of tea, let's be honest there, okay? You're still a villain in somebody's story. What's one more person to do? Like, it might be somebody you've well known and you might just become their enemy. But F that, okay? F that. That person is not worth me living in fear, is it? Is it? You have never been everyone's cup of tea and you will never be everyone's cup of tea. So just get used to it and just do your own thing and let everyone hate you. Heck, let the whole world hate you, but guess what? You don't hate yourself. And that's just okay. Because let me tell you, when I say I have literally nobody, why is that? Because I piss everyone off. And why do I piss everyone off? Because I'm just being myself. And nobody likes that. Nobody likes me just choosing myself over them. Why would they? They could benefit off me. But why should I care? Sweetie, you have never been everyone's cup of tea, okay? So just let it be. Let it be, okay? Stop living in delusion about that. And they laugh at you. They really just laugh at you. Because you will do literally anything that they want. Because you're trying to be everyone's cup of tea, you know? And they laugh and disrespect you. So at the end of the day, are you winning or losing? Guess what? Questions lead to solution. It leads to answers. It leads to finding out. And what's more beautiful than finding out about yourself? And guess what? Nobody will have any power over you once you do uncover everything about yourself. Isn't that just amazing? Isn't just that powerful? When you take responsibility, sit with yourself, do everything, you will always do it for you. At the end of the day, you are always alone. Okay, you can be with a partner, you can have kids, you can do this, da da da. You will have, let's say you live with somebody, you live with that person, but at the end of the day, somewhere along the way, you are alone. You came into this earth alone, you're gonna go alone. You're always gonna be with yourself. At the end of the day, you will be. So why not try to understand yourself better? Why not make things easier for your own self? Stop fitting in. Stop fitting in places where you are not supposed to be. You are not supposed to be in that job. You're not supposed to be with those friends. You're forcing yourself to be there. That's why you're so unhappy. That's why you're not satisfied. That's why you're coming out like all drained. Because that place is not for you, my love. The place for you is literally the place that you create for yourself, that your soul wants. You don't have to believe in soul. Amor works for you. Okay, whatever does. But stop fitting in places that you're not supposed to be at. Stop going to situations. Stop going to people that you're not supposed to meet. Stop hanging around with these people who are draining the life out of you. These energy vampires, stop hanging out with them. They are only draining the life out of you. All they're doing is taking, taking, taking. They're not giving you anything. Okay? They're not giving you anything. You're trying to be everyone's cup of tea. Nobody wants to be your cup of tea. Let's face that, okay? You're trying to be everyone's savior or something. Nobody's coming out here to save you. You're being everyone's therapist. You're not getting paid, my love. If you want to be a therapist, go ahead and be one. That way you will earn some money that you can put on yourself and you can afford that dream life. Why not? Seriously. Try to make the best out of your worst situations, okay? The whole fitting in thing, the whole making you feel bad for not fitting in thing is created by people who don't want to embrace your authenticity. Those are the wrong people for you. Why is it the person that you like so much? Why is it the artist that you love so much is not liked by some people? It's just not their taste. It's okay. If everyone was just the same, wouldn't it be just a boring world? It would be so boring. Your brain will actually create circumstances. And you know what? You know how that actually works in your own favor? It's just that when your mind creates something in your head, when you make something, like for example, you say that this is the reality of things, it will actually shape into that reality, and the whole world becomes the mirror for that. If you are happy, the world will actually get you to become more happier because you just are. Everything just falls for you. Everything just works in your favor the moment you allow it to work in your favor. The moment you tell your mind that I'm going to allow for it to work in my favor, the moment you say to your mind that this is the reality that we live in from now on, your mind will actually work in that. It will reject the people that you used to hang around with. It will reject the situations that you used to be at, and that's why it will go ahead and put its own self in situations that it knows that it wants to be in, because that's a reality that you told your mind to be in. Because now when you just do that, let's understand on a deeper level that when you say that this is a reality, da 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 da, your mind actually starts vibrating in a frequency that it has never before, and that frequency aligns with the energy. Because when something vibrates at a frequency, it starts vibrating at an energy that you radiate. Okay, when you're sad and gloomy, you're gonna attract things that are also sad and gloomy. You're gonna be in situations that's gonna be sad and gloomy, because it's your mind's way of being like, this is the reality that we live in. Since your energy is no longer the way that it used to be, it's gonna find itself in situations that's surrounded with that same energy, because one energy likes to be with another. It just is that way. Forget the ideology of being chosen, okay? Forget it. Seriously, forget it. Do it for your own self. Everything else will just follow. Let it go. Let yourself give yourself the permission. Seriously, everything that you're doing, all these rules, everything, it's just you keeping yourself chained. Give yourself the permission. Tell yourself it's okay. I allow myself to feel a certain way. I allow myself to dream this way. I allow myself to unbreak these shackles. I allow myself. Just allow yourself. Give yourself the permission. You deserve it. You know that. If you're watching this video, you care about yourself. No, already in here, in this reality. Okay? So don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Because it's only gonna get better. And life, universe will never try to go against you. It will always work in your favor if you just allow it. Just believe in you. Because right now, yourself needs you. Your own self needs you to believe in itself. Because if it doesn't, who else do you have who believes in you? Look around you. Do you have anyone that you can say for sure that they believe in you? And before you do, ask yourself, do they actually understand me? Will they actually be here believing in me when I embrace my full authenticity? And then ask yourself this question: do you have anyone believing in you? Then why couldn't you just do it for your own self? Why couldn't you just believe in your own self? Do it for you. You deserve that. You deserve someone to believe in you. It doesn't matter if the whole world is against you and don't want to do that for you. It's okay. You do it for you. You know you deserve it. You know you care. Everyone's deserving of love and care and effort. I'm sure you are too. So once you do that for you, you're just allowing yourself to be that. Fear of rejection could feel like the death sentence, but it really isn't. Allow yourself, and the whole world will allow you. See you in the next video.